Hello everyone, it's Janet and welcome to my channel. Today I'm posting for Bitten by the Bug 2. This is a twice-a-month Cricut challenge blog that encourages Cricut users to grow their creativity. I recently joined their design team and I'm super happy to be part of this group of talented Cricut crafters. The new challenge theme kicking off today is a thank you card challenge. If you'd like to join it, you can link up your thank you card creation to the challenge post. I'll put the link in the description below. You can also follow what's going on from their new Facebook page. That link will be found below too. Well, I hope you'll enjoy seeing the card I put together for you. If you are new here, I invite you to give me a thumbs up. Please leave a comment telling me what you think and subscribe. I love welcoming new folks to my channel, and for all you loyal subbies, thanks for joining me. Love you to pieces. I'm so happy you're here with me again. So let's get crafting. To start, I'm going to stamp with this large Hero Art wood grain stamp, and it's called Designer Wood Grain. And I'm going to put it on this 4 1/4 by 5.5 inch white cardstock piece. And then later I'm going to trim it down to fit on my A2 size card. So I'm going to really lay down a lot of Memento ink. This is Rich Cocoa, and Memento is one of my favorite go-to everyday kind of inks. And this Rich Cocoa is really pretty. Now, instead of stamping this right on top of the paper, I'm going to put the paper on top of the stamp. And then I'll use a brayer, and I'll use the brayer to put pressure across the whole stamp. And this way I'll get a better impression than if I would try to just put the stamp on top of the paper and push down on the wooden block. And you see I get a very nice, clean, crisp, and even stamped image this way. Next, I'm going to apply some fun foam to the back of this stamped image. Now, I did trim this, by the way, and the fun foam is just a cheap fun foam you get at the craft store. I cut these down and make them ahead of time to use on my card panels, and it just leaves a nice little edge around it and gives it some nice even support and lift. Now I'm going to attach this to my craft card base by just using ATG glue. And then I'll center that on top of that A2 size base so that there's a little bit of the craft cardstock just showing around the edges to mat everything up nicely. So this is looking pretty good, and I'll show you there. It's got a little bit of lift from that fun foam. Okay, now it's time to work on my die cut. I'm going to get started on the die cut. Now this comes from the Country Life Cricut cartridge, and the die cut is number M as in Mary 404, A as in apple, E as in egg. And I made this 3.1 inches wide and 5.085 inches high. Kind of an odd measurement, but it seemed to fit best on my card panels, so that's just what I used. And I'm going to apply the flowers first, and this green piece that you see, it's kind of the template, and it's what is being used to support all the other die cut pieces that are going to go on top of it. So in the end, all you're going to see of this green piece in, when I'm done, is where the stems and leaves are on this die cut. All right, so here's the picture, and I have used an embossing folder for that to get a little pattern in it. And I'm going to start applying these 3 strips of paper that cuts out with the die cut. It just gives it a little bit more style, and they start out narrow at one end and wider at the other end. And you just need to make sure you put them on so that the angle of the cuts match the angle of the picture. So the first one I put on is the white one with the narrow end on the left, and now I'm going to alternate that with this orange one and put the wider end on the left. And then finally I will use the pink one and again put the narrow end on the left side, so it just alternates back and forth. I like that. It gives it also a little bit more rustic look. And then what we're going to do is just glue this on top of the green base for the die cut, and we're going to cover it up so that you really see none of that green anymore now, except for the leaves and the stems like I mentioned earlier. Now the last thing I'm going to do with this, for the flowers anyway, is to put these gems in the middle of them. So I'll come back when I've got that done and we'll move on. Okay, so I've put the gems on, and I've also put on some double-sided foam tape, and I'm ready to put it on my card base. I'm going to move it to the right so I have some room to place my sentiment, and I love it. This looks great. Off camera, I made a little bow out of orange and white baker's twine, and I used a glue dot behind it just to apply it to my picture, and I think that really makes it cute. So now I can do my sentiment. I'm going to use the stamp set from Close to My Heart. It's called Hello Life. It's CC1041 if you want to look that up. I'm going to use the thanks stamp with the banner right here. And this actually comes from the artistry cartridge. You can cut that out with the artistry cartridge if you happen to own it. I used a little bit of foam tape on the left side so that it would be the same height as my picture was, since it had been lifted up with foam tape as well. Glued it on the right, and there it is. And with that, this thank you card is complete. And here's a close-up of the finished card. Well, once again, thank you for joining me here today. I really appreciate you visiting, and I've put up here the link to subscribe to my channel and also to a couple more videos that I think you might be interested in seeing if you like this one. So I hope to see you back soon, but until then, keep crafting. Bye!